Well, thank you. It is good to be home. President Price, fellow trustees, families, and the Duke class of 2025, looking distinguished in your blue robes. Thank you for inviting me to share this magnificent and meaningful day with you. To our entire Duke community, thank you for being a part of our year-long centennial, celebrating how quickly we have grown from a regional school to a global powerhouse. In university years, 100 is the blink of an eye. Nothing gives me greater joy than being back on this campus. Of all the places I've played and all the jobs I've had, I am most proudest to be known as a Blue Devil. In class of 2025, I am honored to finally get to call you my fellow alumni. Parents, partners, grandparents, siblings, thank you for everything you did to get your graduates to their commencement. It's your day too, and that's especially true for all the moms. To those of you for whom Mother's Day is difficult, I am with you. We lost my mother, Janet Hill, a few years ago, and I loved her, and she loved Duke. My mom was a trustee for 15 years, even painting her nails blue before every board meeting. When she passed away, President Broadhead graciously said she was someone who was quick to rejoice in the talents of others, particularly the young. So, graduates, in her honor as well as in yours, I'm celebrating this Mother's Day by celebrating you. My mom was wise. When I was in middle school, I didn't want to do my homework, and I asked why I even needed to go to college one day. And she told me that college teaches you three things: how to think, how to problem solve, and how to endure. So many times, her wisdom echoed just when I needed it. So let me take you back to one of those times, to 1992, and the baseline of a basketball court. It's a close game. There are just a few seconds left on the clock. I've got the ball in my hands, and I'm ready to heave the inbounds pass to my teammate, Christian Laettner. I reach back, I launch it nearly the length of the court, and watch as Christian catches it. Out of bounds. We lose the game. Where did you think I was going with that? It's a true story. A few weeks before what would become known as the shot, we tried that same play against Wake Forest, and we failed. Wake had put a 6'10" defender on me, which took away my angle. So to get it to Christian, I had to curve the pass around him. It didn't work. I remember two things that immediately followed that loss. First, even though it was just a regular season ACC game, the Wake fans stormed the court. And I remember thinking, at Duke, we do that when we win championships. The second is the conversation Christian and I had in the locker room. We talked about what went wrong, and I told him that next time I'll make sure to get some distance between me and the defender. You see, Christian and I didn't hang our heads. We put our heads together. We didn't blame the other team or each other. We didn't pity ourselves. We picked each other up and made sure that we knew that if we ever did it again, we'd do it right. And we couldn't have predicted that our next shot would come so soon or with such high stakes in overtime at the Elite Eight. And when it arrived, we were ready. Not because we were perfect the first time, or because we had thrown that play out and drawn up a new one, but because we learned to think, problem solve, and endure. Mom was right. She respected academia, but revered pragmatism. You can live without Chaucer, and you can live without calculus, my mom would say when I was growing up, but you cannot make it in this world without common sense. And when I moved away from home to come to Duke, she showed me that she always had my back. One Wednesday night, my freshman year, long before cell phones existed, my dad called my dorm and asked to speak to me. My roommate, Tony, answered the phone and told him that I was on a date. That really made my dad angry. He was livid to learn that I was out on a school night instead of studying. So the following day, I got a call, this time from my mom. And she said, no matter where you are, the next time your father calls, make sure Tony tells him you're at the library. One of the best ways my mom shared her wisdom was in a set of principles she took time to write down. She called it her top 10 list of how to achieve success. Don't worry, I'm not going to count down all 10, but I will tell you how it ends. Number 1, always listen to your mother. Even though she's gone, I still do. I still hear her voice. Class of 2025, as much as today is about celebration, I know it doesn't come without trepidation. Outside Duke's walls, the world has changed in so many ways over the last 4 years. And here on campus, after an endless series of tests, it feels like your reward is another one. You've already faced no shortage of them. The exams to get into Duke, the exams to get out, even the daily COVID test you took freshman year, racing to meet the deadline before your Duke card got shut off. And don't get me started on the quizzes you had to pass to get a K-Ville tent just for a chance to get into Cameron. And by the way, I understand that someone here successfully answered the trivia question, what time of day was Cooper Flagg born? Respect. And now you face perhaps the most important test, whether you'll continue to live the values you've developed here, even when the world around you often doesn't. How do you hold on to what matters when so much is changing? I know you have some nerves about what it means to close this chapter. I've heard from some of you about it directly, and I know there's some ambivalence about today. I get it. This is a special place. And you might be worried that once you leave this campus, you'll lose this sense of community. You're nervous about finding your way without the people sitting around you right now. So let me assure you, what makes Duke special transcends time and place. Just wait until the first time you see someone wearing a Duke sweatshirt in an airport, and you'll see what I mean. My wife likes to remind me that this isn't normal. She tells me all the time, this isn't a college thing, it's a Duke thing. And last summer, one of my Duke mentors was there for me at a moment I needed him. It was the end of the Olympics, right before the gold medal game against France, the host country. The pressure was immense. We had underperformed at the World Cup the year before and barely made it out of the semifinals against Serbia. I was worried about, I was going to get banished to the island where they exiled Napoleon. So I called Coach K. He was steady and insightful as always. He broke down what happened in the last game, and he shared his own experiences dealing with pressure. He was comforting and encouraging, and I realized even decades later, even an ocean away, he's still coaching me. It was a testament to the strength of what starts here at Duke and stays between us, no matter how far apart we are in time or place. I know that 30 years from now, someone will be telling a similar story about Coach Shire or one of your many brilliant professors. What made Duke special for you wasn't just the fact that you were on the same campus, bonding over test and tense, or East and West campuses, or Nugget and Peaches. What made this time special was not just a shared space, but shared values: respect, trust, inclusion, discovery, and excellence. What made this community special, one you've helped build and that shaped you in return, is that it's made up of people who mean what they say and do what they say. People who don't just write down their values, but show up with them. Who, over 4 fun but hard years, extended you respect, trusted you, included you, joined you in the joys of discovery and pursued excellence, even when it was hard. That's integrity. In fact, on my mom's top 10, this is principle number 8. Guard your integrity as your most valuable asset, she wrote. Only you can give it away. So here's why I need you to hear this today. Out there in the world you're about to enter, the gap between what's said and what's done is too wide. You will meet people, rely on institutions, and listen to leaders who say all the right things, but when they're tested, they'll run, hide, and fold. I've sat in boardrooms during conversations about commitments to inclusion, but as I looked around the table, I didn't see anyone else who looked like me. I can't help but wonder what possibilities go unrealized in the absence of representation. I've heard people talk a big game in public about respect, but the minute the cameras and microphones are turned off, their language is anything but respectful. I've watched leaders preach about honesty and accountability, but make excuses the minute those values become inconvenient. And I don't know how many mission statements I've read that pledge to make the world a better place, only to end up adding to the pile of broken promises. So many voices are saying they want to do the right thing. Then why does it feel like so few are following through? Graduates, this is your challenge in your next chapter. Help us close this gap. That's what James B. Duke wanted us to do with the school he created. He was motivated by his belief that education should be, in his words, practical as opposed to theoretical. Not just on paper, in practice. Not just dreaming, doing. Don't just list your values, live them. And yes, my mom knew this one too. Number 7 on her set of principles reads, don't be a passenger in life. You see, she knew that values aren't ideas. Values are verbs. To respect means that we give others grace, even if we disagree. To include means that we pull more chairs up to the table. We don't fear different voices. To excel means doing the work, not just talking about the standards. It means performing all at the same high level that got you through Duke, even when no one was watching. Our core values are the principles we honor, even if it costs us. They help us find our way when we're lost. And among the most enduring lessons from your Duke experience are the values you've come to identify with. So as you go forward, remember that will sustain you. What will sustain you isn't where you are, it's who you are. The way to stay connected to Duke is by creating spaces wherever you go, where people are expected to keep their word and held accountable when they don't. Our values require us to take the wheel, so don't be a passenger. So I want to close with one last lesson from my mom. These are the first 3 words of her letter. Don't fear failure. Yes, it's inevitable. Yes, it's how you grow. But there's another reason my mom asked us to do this. Don't fear failure, she said, because success is far more dangerous to the human condition. What exactly did she mean by that? She knew that success without gratitude could make us too comfortable, and that success without fortitude can make us corruptible. Duke students know how to grind. You hustle. You are super achievers. But if all you've known is success, or if you've forgotten what it took to achieve it, you risk becoming obsessed with accomplishments and affirmation. When those become our priorities, something else gets sacrificed, the integrity that makes us who we are. So class of 2025, you are graduating into one of the toughest tests of our time, whether we mean what we say we believe. The world doesn't need more promises, it needs more people who keep them. But I believe you are the ones who can lead us. Your time here has shown you what it's like to be in a community where values are lived. And because no place is perfect, you've used disappointment to sharpen your convictions. You now know with more certainty what you believe and what you refuse to accept. You've learned which fights you'll do anything to win and what you're willing to lose. James B. Duke died 100 years ago. He didn't live to see this university flourish, but in creating something that would outlast him, he left a gap between vision and realization. He left it up to us to close it. My generation has left too much distance between what is said and what is done. From climate change to inequality to politics, we've fallen short. Class of 2025, be better than us. Duke has given you the tools to recognize these problems, the skills to solve them, and the endurance to persist. So listen to my mother and don't fear failure. Instead, fear distance, the distance between the words and the work, between intention and action. That vacuum gets filled by cynicism. It weakens our connections, it corrodes our communities. If you're going to fear something, fear the distance that's growing between us. Our school's second century will be shaped by what happens here in Durham, but it will be co-authored by what you do next. So however far you travel, keep close what you learned here. What you do, not just what you say, reflects on all of us. You are not just alumni, you are stewards. Carry Duke's values forward, carry each other, and let your integrity carry you through the tests to come, and you'll make us proud. Congratulations. Go Duke.